When I got married, I wasn't a virgin. I already had intercourse with 8 men.
You know, that's actually something I don't want to know about.
We always hear stories of how people accomplish great things well into their middle age. Henry Ford invented the Model T at age 45. Julia Child wrote her first cookbook at 50. In 1964, at age 73, Colonel Sanders sold Kentucky Fried Chicken for $2 million.
Howdy, folks. It's me, the real Colonel Sanders.
And in 1998, at around age 85, actress Ellen Albertini Dow sang a cover of Rapper's Delight for roughly 8 seconds in an Adam Sandler comedy, launching her into an unexpected second wave of an acting career well into 2013.
I said hip hop, I hip it to the hip hip hop. You don't stop the rock to the bang bang boogie. Say up jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie the beat.
This wasn't Ellen's first rodeo. She'd been acting in film and television since she was 76 and had an extensive background in theater before that. I've always wanted to know more about her, and I'd love to share her story with you. But before we get all feisty, I just want to take a moment to thank our supporters on Patreon. If you would like to help support this channel, please go to patreon.com/thebackfocus. Ellen Albertini Dow was born the 7th child of Italian immigrants in Pennsylvania in 1913. That was roughly a year after the Titanic sank, and it was right on the cusp of World War I. She got bachelor's and master's of arts degrees from Cornell University, then moved to New York to study all manners of performing arts. She studied dance, working with famed choreographer Martha Graham. She did comedy, acting, directing, and even founded her own mime troupe, the Albertini Mime Players, after traveling to Paris to study under French mime icon Marcel Marceau. Then, while working as an assistant director on an off-Broadway play at Carnegie Hall, Ellen met Eugene Dow, a decorated World War II hero who had turned his sights toward acting, even appearing in the B-horror film Night of the Demon.
Unless his concept of reality changes, my first diagnosis will stand. I have no alternative but to certify this man as criminally insane.
Ellen and Eugene married in 1951 and moved to LA, where Ellen taught drama at Los Angeles City College, then transferred to Pierce College, where she and Eugene teamed up, and they were just the faces of this blossoming theater department there. He would direct and write music, she would choreograph and dance, as well as teach drama, and so it went until her retirement in 1985. And that would have been the end of her story, if not for her husband Eugene suggesting that she try pursuing acting again.
He was important because he really wanted you to be in the business and have a career.
Yeah, I thought we were just going to sit back and do nothing. And he said, well, now we're going to go back and do what we did when we were young. And I said, oh, I thought we were just going to go and travel or sit around, you know. I have to tell you what he said. He said, no, there's more in you to get out.
Ellen got her first on-screen role as a sweet old lady seeing a zombie movie at a drive-in theater in American Drive-In.
You hear, Allison?
No.
Hard rock zombies.
Ah, what's it about?
Zombies with hard rocks, I guess.
But right away, casting directors seemed to know that she could easily subvert an audience's expectations, whether it was for comedy.
You know, young man, I wish you were my real grandchild.
You do?
Yes, because then I could hit you.
Or for drama, like in this episode of the 1980s reboot of The Twilight Zone.
I guess the moral there is, don't make any deals and don't ask any questions.
Oh my God! So for over a decade, she went back and forth between these types on countless TV shows. Yes, she was a great, sweet old lady when you needed her to just be the sweet old lady.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's afternoon, Cousin Nick.
And when the moment called for it, she could always just add a little touch of senility.
You know Clarence, don't you?
Yeah, sure.
Hi, Kevin.
Hi, how you doing?
Although, you know, it's kind of a fine line. It could also be sad. Like in this episode of The Golden Girls, where the girls sneak her out of a retirement home. It's funny, at first.
I was quite a looker.
Oh.
Almost as pretty as you.
Why, thank you.
Of course, I had bigger breasts.
And then it's, just, okay.
I don't know this place. Lillian, it's okay. And I don't know you.
Lillian, I'm Dorothy, and this is Sophia. We're your friends. We brought you here from the home last night.
Oh, okay. Right. I'm sorry.
Speaking of Golden Girls, she appeared in future episodes but played a different old lady. Ellen did that a few times in other sitcoms. I remember an actor friend of mine saying that certain shows, like Law & Order, for example, had an amount of time that would have to pass before the same actor could be on the show to play a different character. I don't know if that ever applied to any of the shows Ellen was on, but just for example, she was in several episodes of Family Matters, first as a former school teacher of Winslow.
Miss Gilbert!
You never handed in that book report on Silas Marner.
My dog ate it.
The same old Winslow.
Then as a customer fighting over a toy in a toy store.
This bohum butted in line.
I did not!
Oh, yes, he did. Now that's my Freddy.
Now wait just a minute!
But he didn't recognize the teacher? That's his old teacher. Who cares? Anyway, it's when she did the unexpected like this, when Ellen was at her best, in my opinion.
Now, can I have a cigarette?
In an episode of Freddy's Nightmares, she robbed a young Brad Pitt at gunpoint.
Your wallet, Sonny. Give it over.
And she was a sweet little home invader in an episode of Sister Sister.
Floyd, you old fool. You forgot the laser disc player. Back so soon.
Other TV highlights I feel like I should include would be a possessed corpse in an episode of Star Trek The Next Generation.
I suggest we run a deep tissue scan to look for any signs of...
Mona, stop this. Stop this, please.
Beverly, it's all right. Have trust in me.
You're not Nana. Nana's dead.
An avid weed smoker convinced she has glaucoma in an episode of ER.
Ma'am, smoking's not permitted in the hospital.
This is my glaucoma medicine. My grandson grows it.
Oh, no, thanks. Put that there.
And Peterman's bedridden mother, who blurts out George's ATM code as her dying words in Seinfeld.
Bosco!
Mama? Quiet, it's a secret.
Bosco! Bosco!
Shut up! Just stop. What are you trying to say?
Bosco!
She's gone. Bosco?
In TV, Ellen had this opportunity to stand out and show her comedic chops over and over again. But in movies, she was more or less an old lady prop. Like when she got shoved to the ground by an invisible Chevy Chase in Memoirs of an Invisible Man.
Oh, I must have slipped.
And here she is as a nun being shocked at Rick Moranis' candor in My Blue Heaven.
Oh, I couldn't possibly.
Oh, come on, have a brandy. Monks make it.
Hey, speaking of nuns, she did get her moments as one of the background nuns in the Sister Act films. But then, The Wedding Singer happened. In 1997, Ellen was cast as Rosie, an eccentric old lady who Adam Sandler's character Robbie is providing singing lessons to, and she also serves as kind of a warped version of the wise old sage archetype.
Are you nervous about showing a new girl your penis?
What's the matter with you?
She's ultimately the heart of the film, especially when she sings her rendition of Till There Was You to her husband, which inspires Robbie to go get the girl.
I gotta go take care of something, okay?
I know you do. Go get her.
All right.
And to write a really sweet song, I Want to Grow Old with You. But of course, what everybody remembers is the rap scene, which again, this lasts all but 8 seconds, but it changed her life. There was this whole CNN interview with her, and it's just mostly focusing on the rapping.
Now what you hear is not a tit,
I rap into the beat and lead the groove, and my friends will try to move your feet. See, I am Wonder Pop, and I'd like to say hello.
I love how she said, move your feet. And the cameraman was like, oh man, I got this. I'm going to point the camera at her feet. I bet she's going to move those feet. But she's going to, I guess not. Anyway, the whole thing even led to a Lifesavers mince commercial.
I'm 90 years old and still pumping steam, and right along with me, Lifesavers Winter Green.
Back to the interview, which had some nice moments that provided insights into Ellen's life. She seemed genuinely surprised and flattered about all of the sudden attention.
I just don't believe it, and it's like surreal. I've read about things like this, and I don't know why. I'm going to cry because I don't know why.
And it's especially sweet when Ellen recounts her husband's excitement and support.
He said, that's your movie, honey, and he's crying. He says, I always knew this would happen for you.
In a separate interview for Growing Bolder, she talks about how the rap sequence was kind of a last-minute change on set.
You know, Adam Sandler, one day, he and the director came in and they said, oh, we have a crazy idea. We think it might be funny for an older woman to do rap. And I said, oh, what is that? I had no idea what rap was.
Now, the same year, Ellen actually had another sizable supporting role in a film with a completely different tone called 54, which focused on the infamous sex, drug-fueled party scene in Studio 54 in New York in the 70s. Ellen played Dottie, employed by the owner to dance, get people moving. She's just like this fun personality at the club, which, of course, gave Ellen the opportunity to say all sorts of off-color things.
How about a drink on me?
How about the best of your lifetime?
But then there's a whole other layer added here when our new employee protagonist runs into her in the real world.
Thanks, Dottie.
It's Mona. But that's just between you and me too, okay?
Okay.
Grandma, look it.
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh.
Ellen's career from this point on was just totally different. And I was trying to figure out how to quantify it because she ended up doing the same sorts of characters, but there were two differences that I noticed. One is that her characters, all of a sudden, had names. Let's take a look at this pie chart. If you look at her roles before The Wedding Singer, 55.9% of them didn't even have a name. They were just variations of old lady number one, sweet old lady, grandma, nana, etc. Now compare that to after The Wedding Singer, and the generic character descriptors drop dramatically down to 10.2%. Now what does this tell us? Number one, I don't have any control of my life anymore. And number two, her characters were just more complex and crucial to the story. Also, I believe, thanks to The Wedding Singer, Ellen ended up doing some more raunchy material. The first thing that came to my mind was when she played one of the boys' grandmothers in Road Trip. She was also a die-hard wrestling fan and Ready to Rumble.
Your Jimmy King is going to bitch slap Diamond Dallas.
And Christopher Walken's homophobic mother in Wedding Crashers.
The wife, though, Eleanor, big dyke.
Oh, Lord.
Huge dyke. A real rug muncher. Looked like a big lesbian mule.
And hey, that's not the only gay basher she played. She got what sounded to me like the biggest laugh from a studio audience when she played Karen's mother-in-law, who gets unwittingly dragged to a gay bar with Will and Jack in an episode of Will and Grace.
You're a
What?
I helped a fairy get a date? Oh, I'm going to hell. Oh.
So yes, there were plenty of these funny, raunchy characters to go around. Old lady says something shocking. It's, oh dear, clutch my pearls. But there was also room for pathos, like when she helped solve a murder case involving her mother in an episode of Cold Case.
She had no choice.
No choice about what, Audrey?
The time she lived in.
Well, murder's the same now as it was back then.
Yes, but being a woman was entirely different.
And I really loved her brief appearance as Roberta, overseeing her friend's funeral arrangements in an episode of 6 Feet Under, in which she pretty much it sums up the entire show's thesis in one scene.
Oh, Big Sur. It's so beautiful up there. So stunning. I suppose I'll be gone soon, too.
Oh.
I will. That's okay. It happens.
Ellen's final appearance ended up being in an episode of New Girl as a weed-smoking grandmother.
You want some of my weed?
It's a bit of an anticlimactic role to go out on, but who has control over this? She was 99 at the time. And 2 years later, she passed away in 2015 at the age of 101. On one level, it's truly inspiring to see someone achieve success late in life. I mean, everyone loves these stories, and the fact that Ellen got a second chance to give acting a try in the twilight of her years, it's nothing but uplifting when you hear it. But it's not quite the whole story. It seemed like a mixed bag of emotions for her. I mean, she obviously had a fun, crazy second ride here, but after her husband Eugene's death in 2004, there was some melancholy attached to it that Ellen tries to avoid, especially in this interview for Growing Bolder.
I was here with my wonderful, I don't want to get sad, my wonderful husband from Massachusetts, and he passed away, bless his heart.
But I suppose the upside is that her husband Eugene was obviously proud of her and would have wanted to see her continue having success. And if it weren't for him pushing her, so many people would have never been privileged enough to see her talent. It would have just been lost in the pantheon of everything else that we haven't seen that is amazing. To close it out, I thought it might be nice to play a number off of an album Ellen recorded in 2008. Thanks for watching.
And remember, there are no small parts. You only go once round the dance floor. You only get one turn, then no more. Your big chance, it comes only one time to dance with the one you adore. One spin of the wheel, then it all stops. Oh, the great big balloon, oh, it all pops. You only go this way but one time. The masquerade ends for some time. We don't go round twice in this dance hall, so let's live it up before night falls. Oh, before all the sound and the lights go, oh, let's dance to this sweet melody. Oh, we only go once in this dance hall, oh, so let's live it up and let's have a ball. Before all the music and the fun goes, let's live and let's love while the wine flows.